against Lord Janner?
I don't have massive evidence. What I have is the direct link between a 5-year court case against Miss Andrea Davidson, Tara Andrea Davidson, who fled pre her criminal trial in the Mole Crown Court on the 4th of the 7th, 2012, when she was found guilty of 26 of 27 charges of fraud. Part of the raid on her property on the 13th of the 1st, 2010, I'm led to believe, by documents that I recovered, that the Derbyshire police seized illegally over 7,000 documents, not just related to arms to Iraq, but also to paedophile ring investigation, to which she claimed she was a paedophile ring investigator, notwithstanding that she also claimed that she was an arms to Iraq intelligence officer and also was the intelligence advisor for the Select Committee of the Department of Trade and Industry. My case, where I published information on the internet about her involvement in massive fraud, which is linked to the Labour Party. So, I'm bringing into you a context of association, not just with the documents that I recovered on Miss Andrea Davison's criminal involvement in fraud, theft and money laundering to Cyprus, Panama, British Virgin Islands, but also the involvement of senior politicians, where I will show you some documents. You can take them. You can take them. Which links then to Mick Creedon. You must have seen that name.
Yes.
Now, Mick Creedon was the officer, the chief of the Derbyshire Police, who I first made a Freedom of Information request as to where the documents that the Derbyshire Police seized from her property on missing arms to Iraq documents because of the Chilcot inquiry. And I'm Royal Air Force, and I work with nuclear weapons, and so I understand the ultimate destructive power of nuclear weapons, and if they were to be used and set off, say, in a car park in London to start a Third World War. And that's why my objectives is to find out the authenticity of the documents that Andrea Davidson claims were removed from her property, and also the information linked to paedophile networks. I made the Freedom of Information request, not just as a part of our civil case against Andrea Davidson, exposing her in massive fraud, but also to find out the security of those documents and whether they were then handed off to the Chilcot inquiry and to the paedophile investigations out of the City of London Police. And I was the reply back from them, which I can show you the reply. All it stated was that because there was a continuous police investigation, that they would not release that information to me. Now, I'm quite disgruntled.
How long ago was this?
Well, I can show you the documents, but say I've got the files with me. We'll show you the technical evidence and the forensic evidence, because they are contained in case HQ 10D 04366, Royal Courts of Justice, Queen's Bench. So they're public document access. You with me?
Yep.
So those documents have been filed on behalf of myself. I filed them in a one of 8 large ring-bind files, which have been sealed at the Royal Courts of Justice, which can be used in evidence against anybody, should they so wish.
Tell us a little bit more about the paedophile connection.
Well, as you know, Lord Janner has been investigated and claimed to be a paedophile by many victims.
I think there were 20 victims that have given evidence to the police,
yes.
And the police found that there was a case to answer for.
Yes.
And then the Crown Prosecution Service said, well, all of a sudden he's got Alzheimer's. And
that's right. But then I, because of my ability to dismantle corporates, what I did do is I did a 5-minute check to find out that Lord Janner was still an active director on the 10th of the 4th when he resigned, 2015. Not a year before, but just now. So if he was competent and capable as a non-executive director to draw a salary, it must mean that he was compos mentis.
He was also going to the House of Lords.
That's right.
He's
and
also
claiming a fee.
Claiming all his fees
and
my
my sort of objective was that when you looked at his 13 companies, which I did, I dismantled every company to find out who his prime directors were, at the same time sat on the same board. And that's when you find there's a massive link to Zionists running Finchley Road.
Tell us more about that.
You understand?
Because some of the people in the Hampstead case are supposed to have connections with those addresses in Finchley.
That's right.
Yeah.
Is that the Hampstead, the satanic cult?
Well, so-called satanic cult. I mean, ritual abuse has been manifest in this case. So it's the bottom line. This is out and out Satanism that we're dealing with here. And what cult anyway? Paedophile cult.
Yeah.
I'll bring in as also audio video evidence that the two gentlemen that I assisted in the police station now, made it quite clear that this is it should be a criminal case for fraud, theft, and organised crime.
Yeah.
However, we don't want to harm their case in any way. However, those are directly linked to 788, 790 Finchley Road. And those people, the controlling directors, are Barbara Kahan, Mary Philomena Stephen, David Perlman, Deborah Kahan, and multiple members of the Kahan family. These people have control, when you look at company director check, of hundreds of thousands of companies, as shell companies. Well, shell company is just used to transfer and launder money in and out of a company that can hold a bank account. So you can, by using your accounting and auditing ability, use a shell company to move money to a subsidiary in the British Virgin Islands, and your bank account remains there with £1 in it. However, you've just moved 10 billion through it, and all it's going to show is £1. And so, to understand my research, this is not hearsay, this is factual. It can be taken, you can look at the documents, and as I've said to the police officers, the evidence is there. If you've got the courage, you will be breaking down the biggest organised crime system in the world. But they won't have the courage because they operate with commanders above them who are Freemasons.
Absolutely. And it's the same with the judiciary.
That's right. I don't want to go into that because then you become classed as a conspiracy theorist. I'm just an engineer, I think a reasonable engineer who has an ability to dismantle organised crime. But I charge nobody anything. All I want is that there be justice in this country for everybody throughout the world. And those people that have done it